Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everybody. So here's the typical, the way it goes. Let's say you got a little something going on medically. You go to see the doctor, write you a script. Now you take medication. Do you really need to take it? I'm being serious about this. When you look at it that way, what about alternatives to those pills that you may be taking? Things that don't have side effects, things that have been used for hundreds of years that are just as effective. We are in the mode of popping pills, going to the doctor, and not treating the root cause. Usually it's just the symptom. Today we're going to look at alternatives to medicine, and fascinating that that's in her wheelhouse. She's somebody that, as a life coach, helps make transformations with people all the time, including your health. And she's back with us. Coach Jay joins us on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got to tell you, in the last, I want to say 3 years, I've started exploring the alternatives. And amazing. Right down to herbals. And if I walked about 6 feet, 8 feet right over there, you'd see bottles of herbal concoctions that somebody made for me, master herbalist. Game changer. Worked fantastic. Better than the meds that, the over-the-counter or the ones that were prescribed. What interests you, Coach Jay, in these alternatives? Where did that all begin for you?
For me, it was working in modern, Western medicine and healthcare. I saw people come into the ER. I've treated patients, and a lot of their signs, their symptoms, their conditions were treatable just by not even alternative medicine, just basic fundamental lifestyle changes that could be done. And then you add in all those medicines that they're taking or choosing to take and being prescribed when there's been thousands of years of Chinese or Eastern medicines that have been proven to work. And we have, on the Western side, have shunned them for many, many years. And I think there's been a almost 360 mindset change for a large amount of people to start switching to and looking into alternative medical practices. But it really does begin with lifestyle, first and foremost.
Before we go down the road of different examples of alternatives, what changed in our culture? I'll go a little bit deeper here, but where did it all happen? And I probably could do a bunch of podcasts on what we're about to talk about here. So we'll go basic and broad. I'm thinking big pharma, money, all of that. Is that really what went on here, where we kind of gravitated away from these alternatives?
To an extent, yeah. Big pharma, Monsanto, technology bringing in the productivity or the demands that we've had to systematically keep up with. But it wasn't until the 50s that we actually started having supermarkets come into our communities. We used to go to a butcher, we used to go to a baker, we used to go to, individualized places to get our groceries. And then grocery stores started to populate our communities. And so that slowly started to change. And then, like you said, big pharma, Monsanto came in, sugar was added. They found sugar was something that helped sell products by making them tastier.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Interesting insight, because I didn't trace it back to the 50s, but Yeah, you'd go to the butcher. I remember being a kid. We went to this place called the Butcher Boy, and just what you said, it was all there, and you could get, even as a kid, here's a slice of bologna for you, little man.
Yeah.
Can I have one for my sister? I'd always say that.
Right.
But yeah, and then what happened with grocery stores, supermarkets? They have their own pharmacy now. So I wonder why doctors don't first, instead of dispensing those prescriptions, why don't they look more holistically at things? Or is it really not part of their training these days?
I believe that these days, years ago, it was very hands-on in medical schools, and now it's very technology driven. And I think there's a lot of different reasons you could go to. You can go to, when pharmaceutical companies, their reps would walk into a doctor's office and lay out bags of prescriptions for the docs to push that particular anticoagulant or that particular high blood pressure medication.
Yep.
The other thing, just on the flip side, real quick, I don't know if you've heard or if it's common knowledge, but the numbers too for blood pressure, 140 over 90 used to be the standard of where you were starting to get, watch your blood pressure. Now it's, 130 over 80, and even for diabetics, that number gets lower and lower for where treatment starts. So I mean,
you have a point there, and I it's on my radar. Even before I go to that, the blood pressure thing. So I had a bunch of doctor visits recently, just some checkups and things like that. Every time I go, the varying range of the blood pressure reading it can't be accurate. There is no way. I mean, my blood pressure is okay, but it goes from the other day, the nurse or whoever, it was so incredibly low, 102 over, 20 something. Then 4 days before that, it was 140 over 83 or something it can't be. I don't think the accuracy is there. Everybody does it a different way, with your shirt on, with it off, or it's the electronic one, or it's actually the old school. So I wonder about that. But to your point, cholesterol, right? If you're even at the top end, you wouldn't be designated as high cholesterol. Good chance they'll put you on a med instead of
absolutely
working on a lifestyle change. And I've seen it happen. It was even suggested for me. And you know what? It was probably I wasn't eating right for a month or two. And
Right. True story. I went to a cardiologist because of my blood pressure, and blood work showed my cholesterols were out of whack a little bit. Good cholesterol was bad cholesterol was good, or whatever. And I said, I'm not going on anything. 6 months later, I had, done different things to my diet.
Yep.
And numbers were perfect. Never been better. And that just goes to show you that, it's very important to be on top of your diet and exercise and your health.
1 billion%. And I'll share, you shared about 12 or so years ago, I was working different responsibilities. I was running a radio station on the air, doing a morning show. So I had a business, all that going on. So I just grab a protein bar. Let me grab that. It's time for lunch. I don't have time. Let me grab that. I get a call from the doctor's office. They're like, you better come in. I'm like, why? Yeah, we're going to talk. Come in. I'm like, tell me now on the phone. I don't want to just come in there. What's going on? My triglycerides were over, they were 350. And they should be, top end is, I think, 150. And I thought about it, and it's that's what it came down to, was I was eating these protein bars, which are loaded with sugar. as a meal replacement because I didn't have time to eat. But, marketing says, well, it's a protein bar. It's got to be good for you. No, it's
Right.
mostly sugar. Just eliminated that. To your point, made that change and everything was fantastic. We don't realize these things, though. We do life, and then we get a bad number in a lab, and then they throw us medicine, typically.
Right, but we accept it too, though.
We do. Because we're programmed. That's, the way society is.
Right.
And I'm not taking anything away from traditional doctors, but it seems now we put them on a pedestal and they're up there.
Right.
And phenomenal training, I get all of it. Doesn't mean they always have the answer, and doesn't mean their answer is right for you. You're your best advocate. You know your body, doing the research and such. So some alternatives. Now, we mentioned a few here, herbals being one of them. How about some other ones?
Yeah, sure. You've got, traditional Chinese cultural medicine, which would include acupuncture. You've got mindfulness types of like yoga, meditation. You have naturopathy, which is, combines the natural with the sciences, You've got the Ayurvedic, which is another Eastern type of medicinal dealing with the body's energies. There's so many different ways to rein in and create a balance within your body.
Ayurveda. I think that's been around for 1,000 years. I don't know the exact number.
Thousands.
Time.
Yeah.
Right?
Thousands.
And still used today, and keeping people very healthy. When we talk about meditation, now we all know it's good for you. Maybe we don't know why it is or how good it is for you, but why don't we start there? On a regular basis, what's meditation going to do to support us on a holistic level?
Well, a lot of people have a lot of misinformation or perceptions about what it's supposed to do, what it is. They think you're supposed to just sit there and zone out and go into this trance, and your mind's going to empty, and you're going to, come out just feeling completely refreshed. And while, it takes practice, the idea of meditation is to be able to just sit and be present and allow your thoughts to come in and then to leave, to not entertain them, to just be at one with yourself and be present, and to not attach yourself to any thoughts or feelings that arise within your body or mind. And the ideal result is to just have a nice, peaceful, balanced overall physical and mental feeling.
I have a friend who he went for a routine checkup. This is probably 7 years ago. And they found something with his heart. And they said, you can leave here now and go right to the emergency room. And he needed emergency surgery to correct a defect. He caught it in time. Everything was great. And that started him on a brand new path of health and eating, mindset, and yoga. He does yoga every day, multiple times a day. And that has completely changed his life. I guess we put that in the same category of of meditation in terms of mindness, right?
Absolutely. Real quick, I was working in the emergency room. I started to feel a little lightheaded in one of my patients' rooms. Long story short, I ended up having some arrhythmias, and I was admitted overnight for observation, and I was given 2 weeks off, and I took 6. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do basically the same as your friend. I dove deeper into being mindful and doing meditation and yoga. And my pressure just with that alone stays within normal range without the blood pressure medications, So it's doing those sorts of activities, making that step towards that transformation. People don't give it enough credit that when you quiet your mind, you also quiet your body. You help your body strengthen its immune system.
Thank you for saying that. We don't give it enough credit. I think many of us say, just meditating, doing breathing and just sitting there doing it. What is I going to do? Come on. Why am I wasting my time with that? And I get it. There was times where, in the beginning, I'm like, why am I doing this? What am I doing here? And now I find myself looking forward to it. I don't regularly meditate, need to, but I look forward to, it's been a busy day. I'm going home. And this is only in the last few months. I look forward to just getting in my bed and thinking I just sit there and it's like, this is good. Yeah, quiet, nice. All right. TV might be on. I'm like, I don't even know it's on because I'm not even watching it. I usually don't anyway. There is just something about just quieting everything. And
yes.
I can't even explain it. I don't even know how to put it into words, but
absolutely,
it's amazing.
Absolutely. We're in this world, no matter what field you're in, you step outside and the pressures of life, it's that hustle and bustle that we're in our own technologically advanced fight or flight, and to be able to just retreat from that, into some sort of quiet or peace, or lack of movement, lack of doing, just being, really is so wonderful. But there are people who just, you give them 5 seconds of doing nothing and they don't know what to do with themselves. And they're the ones who need it the most.
I'm right there with you. And that's how it began. And this is maybe 4 months ago. I would talk to friends. It'd be Saturday, Sunday morning. It's 11 a.m. And they'd be like, I'm in bed. Yeah, I'm just hanging in bed. I'm like, what are you doing? You're in bed? What are you, crazy? What? The whole day? You're blowing off half the day. It's already gone. It took me a little while to figure that out. And then I realized doing nothing is actually doing something. And now I'm intentional, at least Saturday or Sunday. I sleep in later, DoorDash, breakfast sandwich and coffee, get it. I feel like a king in my bed. And I'm just sitting there like, just thinking and just relaxing. But we get caught up. And everything, as we talked before, is a habit. So you get in the habit of go, 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 where you can't even shut it off. And shutting it off feels weird, feels uncomfortable because we programmed ourselves to always keep going and moving. And yeah, there's definitely something there that we all need to realize for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so then you have our own selves, working against our own selves by this go, 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 and not slowing down, not adjusting the pace, not taking time for calm and peace and balance and quiet. And then and then all these stressors create a hostile environment, if you will, internally. And a lot of people don't want to, or it's not just that they don't want to. I think more of it is they don't believe that they have the time to actually make the change and take 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes will become 10 minutes, and that 10 will become 20. So then what in turn then happens is they end up saying, I'll take that pill. It's a quick fix. I don't have time for anything else. Give me the pill and let me just move on with my day.
Yep, exactly. Because it's too much work to exercise. It's too much work to, let me think about what I'm eating. It's just, it's
Right.
And it goes right down to, what I describe as the Amazon world. Click the button. Most places,
Right.
0 by 3 p.m. this afternoon. Quick, need it now, fast food. There you go. How many decades ago did that begin where you just want it now? That's it. Is there any alternatives that we haven't mentioned that maybe we should?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Ayurveda, we talked about lifestyle, diet, herbals,
acupuncture.
That's one that I've been studying more and more, and haven't done it yet. And I've even heard that acupuncture can be used for cosmetics. Like, for example, people take Botox, get rid of wrinkles and everything.
Right.
You can use acupuncture for that. I heard that from an acupuncturist that can smooth out wrinkles.
That I hadn't heard. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
One that it practices Chinese medicine. And she said that, we do it all the time. I go, well, how long does it last compared to Botox? And she goes, quite some time. And she said, really what's going on there is you're relaxing muscles. You're also increasing blood flow and qi to, the face. Okay. And that's what smooths things out. But again, why? And for people that can't get past the needle, as I'm learning more and more, it's finer than your hair.
Yes.
He could fit many of those needles, acupuncture needles, into a traditional injection needle in it. That's how thin they are. Yeah, lots to learn, but by and large, you can't do it alone. You need somebody. How did I find out about herbals? I talked to an herbalist. How did all of this? You need somebody to walk that journey like yourself. How does somebody find you, Coach Jay?
Sure. So, to schedule an appointment, you can call me at 352-410-2133. Or you can go on my Calendly app and view my calendar to make an appointment at calendly.com/Coach J with the number 2. You can also reach me and some of my inspirational and informative bits on Facebook page which is Transformations with Jay.
Awesome. I love the fact that you have a medical background. It says a lot. It says a lot about what you do because it's almost like a 360 approach where there are life coaches out there. It's all good. They can help you a little bit with, the health aspect. You lived it. You know it. That's why we're talking about it today. And it speaks volumes. Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Stay warm down there in Florida, too.
I'm trying.
All right. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.